I want to briefly talk about marriage. I mentioned in many videos my stance on marriage. My stance on marriage is that it is a good thing. Now, when I start getting into talking about gay marriage, I can't ignore people. I'm a people person, obviously. I wouldn't create this channel if I weren't a people person. Now, people want me to get on their side with interracial marriage, gay marriage, and I've said this about every single group that goes to the government. Get government out of it. They are going to do something, first of all, against the will of the people. I know a lot of black people feel that they had to go to the government to get white people to do it. That's not how you do it. That is not how you do it. From the very beginning, I said the desegregation stuff was wrong. It was wrong-headed all the way from the very beginning. And I know a lot of you uneducated black people will say, oh, you're just a, sorry, I don't know the insults off the top of my head. You're just an Uncle Tom. Shucking and jiving, you're just a coon. Here's the deal, if you're uneducated and you don't even know your own history, you're gonna fall into whatever camp somebody comes along and you think is good. If they say desegregation is a great thing and you're uneducated yourself, you're gonna think, oh, desegregation is a great thing. Desegregation is not a great thing. It never was. All it did was destroy black people. That's all it did. It destroyed us. And I don't even mean to use the term lightly. I literally mean it destroyed us. And then there's people say, well, what about love? You can have interracial marriage. Here's the deal, human nature. You don't love somebody in a box. You don't love somebody on an island. It doesn't just happen. It's human nature that if you are in close proximity to another human, you will develop affection for that human. I don't care if they're white, Asian, black, Polynesian, man, or woman. And to briefly touch on that scientifically or socially, so in the social sciences, if you have a prosperous society with well-developed division of labor so that the farmer is over here and the banker is over here, and the farmer doesn't have to worry about somebody coming competing with him, and the banker doesn't have to worry about somebody coming and competing him, and the citizen can do whatever they do, and they can casually go and find food, casually go and find banking needs. They become an affluent society. And it is the case in humans. When you have an affluent society, that is, you don't have to worry about where your next meal is coming from. And I'm not talking about economics. I'm talking about necessity of the lack of fundamentals in the actual society. Ergo vis-a-vis, such as in the jungles of Southeast Asia, in the jungles of Africa, in the jungles of Middle Asia, in the tundra of Northern Europe, people have to worry about where their meal, how are they going to get fed? When they are worried about basic human needs, they don't have time to languish. And when you have time to languish, where you can just simply pop over to the store and buy meat, bread, milk, then you have all of this other free time. And it is the case in humans, at least in white human history, that humans develop homosexuality. I know people want to say, oh no, I was born this way. I have genes, I have hormones. No, your society has the casual class. That is the class that's not really rich, but not so poor they have to worry about where meals comes from. I don't want to just say just middle class, because you have middle class people financially who work very hard for 12 hours a day. Entrepreneurs are far more associated with the farmer that wakes up at 4 a.m. and doesn't go to bed until the wee hours of the night. They're far more comparable to those guys than they are to the soccer mom who has her day all planned out nice and neatly and doesn't have to worry about where she's going to get food, and she can go buy food for the entire week. I'm not against marriage of anything, of any kind. I don't even care. Do you understand that part? I don't even care who marries. For black people, as far as the interracial thing is concerned. I've already given you over and over and over that 92%, I think it's down to 90%. 90% of black men marry black women, and 97% of black women marry black men. So when you see an interracial couple, it is a rarity. It is something to behold. Now, if you, just like the homosexuals, if you want to force people, you're forcing people to try and bend to your will. And you go to the government and say, we want these laws repealed. A lot of the law stems from the will of the people. If the will of the people is that women can murder their unborn child, that's what you're going to have a law that says women can murder their unborn child. There is some popularity to it. There has to be some popularity to it. Otherwise, if they couldn't get the will of the people to go along with it, even if they initially forced people to think that way, that's how it turns out. The libertarian stance is that you should not have government inside of marriage. And I believe that. You should not have government inside of marriage. If you're so gung-ho about marrying a white girl, do it naturally and don't do it with the government. Forcing the government, because invariably you have this. Even today, families don't like interracial marriages. I try to explain that marriage is a family thing, not just a you and me thing. When I get married, it's not just me and the girl and our brats in our house. Here's a pro tip. Large portions of divorce is caused by family stepping in between husband and wife. He will say, if you can't love my family, then you can't love me. And they are absolutely right. If you can't love the mother-in-law, then you married the wrong person. There is absolutely nothing special about that human. There's nothing special about their family. You married the wrong person. And I keep trying to explain, marriage is a family thing, family and family. If you present yourself as a fantastic catch for somebody's daughter, you have money, houses, your family has money, houses, I guarantee you, you will meet the best in-laws in the history of mankind. You will never, ever have a problem with them. And I know there are plenty of people who have turned around and said, oh my God, this is the son that we always wanted. It happens a lot. Why? Because he's a great catch. His family is fantastic. As far as human society is concerned, you met some white girl, their family hates you. Why? You're a terrible catch to begin with. And to boot, you have colorism. Do you know that term? You have colorism. So if you're a blue, black, African looking black man, and before you get all crazy, and you are a terrible catch, you don't have a job, you don't have a house, you have no future, you have no goals, you're an awful catch just all the way around. But let's say you're a fantastic catch. They will put colorism aside and want to adopt you into their family. Can't get enough of you. Lick your face as if you were a chocolate candy bar. But no, you all wanted to go get the government force people to do something that they didn't want. If they don't want it, don't force them to. If they don't want you to sit at the front of the counter in their store, why would you go to the government and force them? I want to force the government for you to take my money. Okay, now all of your little stores in the black community are shut down because all the black people go over to. Why? Because theirs is better. Well, if you would just friggin' buy something here, I could upgrade my counter every 5 years when it makes financial business sense. We could have ordered hire maids to clean up our black hotel. No, you want to go over to the nice white hotel and spend your money. And coincidentally, you really didn't sit at the front. They still intimidated you to sit at the back and come through the back entrance. There was no magical instance where black people all of a sudden were accepted. You can't legislate morality to begin with. Stop going to the government. If they don't want you to get married, don't go to the government, go to the people. You have to convince the people. I keep saying I'm libertarian and people don't believe me. Oh, you're black, you must be Democrat. Oh, you're one of those sellout Negroes who's a Republican. I've never been a Republican in my life. I keep trying to convince you all that you are conservative. Black people are conservative in almost every aspect of life. White people tell them that they're socially liberal and they believe it. They run with, oh yeah, I'm socially liberal. No, you're not socially liberal. You're the most socially conservative people on the planet. And when you have it explained to you, you're the most financially conservative people on the planet. There's not a whole lot of black people on welfare, food stamps, WIC. That's more of racism. You ain't nothing. I don't curse, so this Cursing is such a colorful way of speaking. I don't curse, but here goes. You ain't nothing. I'm going to tell you you ain't nothing, and you're going to believe that you ain't nothing. Your mama ain't nothing. Your daddy ain't nothing. You ain't nothing. So if I tell you that black people are all over food stamps, welfare, you're going to believe that black people are all over food stamps and welfare. I'm trying to wake you up. Black people are not all over food stamps and welfare. You're not socially and fiscally liberal at all, not even close. Because as soon as a black man gets 2 pennies in his hands to rub together, he automatically wakes up and says, oh, I'm friggin' Republican, actually conservative. Get the government out of my pocket. As soon as he gets 2 pennies to rub together, as soon as that black child turns 16 or whatever the age is and gets his first paycheck, he automatically turns into a conservative. I know you want to deny, oh no, I'm a Democrat, oh, my mom's a Democrat, blah, blah. First of all, you're stupid, and you need to search your soul. Like Star Wars says, search your feelings, you know them to be true. If you get your first paycheck as a black man, you automatically turn into Donald Trump conservative. Wait, is Donald Trump a conservative? You turn into the governor of Texas. What's his name? With the glasses now, looking all super gay. That's not an insult. That's how he looks. He looks gay with his glasses, period. You automatically turn into Rick Perry. You turn into Mr. Conservative Rick Perry. Oh, the government needs to get out of my pocket now. Look at all these taxes that they're taking out. Look at that. There's a FICA and Social Security. They take half my paycheck. And that's the half that you see. There's another half that the employer has to pay that you don't even see. Get the government out of your life, especially marriage. Thank you for watching Shakaama Live Show.